Which Veeam failover option can result in data loss? Ooh, we don't like data loss. Undo failover, commit failover, plan failover, failover plan. So the key here is to think about what really happens. If I trigger a failover plan, that's kind of the same as a regular failover. What happens then is I have data which has potentially not yet been replicated. So when I do a failover, I'm going back in time, but technically that data is still available on the original VM, so it's not yet lost. Planned failover, here there's never any data loss because what happens is we replicate the changes over, then we shut down the source VM. So while we were replicating, changes could have occurred, so we shut it down afterwards. Now, because it's powered off, no more changes can happen. We then replicate it a second time. VMs are then identical, and then we power on, right? So that it's impossible that there can be any data loss. Then we have commit failover. There is no feature called commit failover, so this is a distractor. And then we have undo failover. And this is when we actually end up with the data loss, because here you had your original VM, you've been replicating it, you triggered a failover, now you have new data appearing on that replica, which you're now running from. And if you decide to click undo failover, you discard all of those changes you've made on the replica. That could be, let's say it was an email server, new emails that arrived, you're just trashing all of that data. You go back to the original VM, and then you would have to manually power it on again. But in that case, you've purposely decided that you want a data loss.